Check, 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 check. Euro Aqua, baby.
Yeah, man, it's perfect.
Sweet.
So we're rolling when you're ready.
There's no other feeling like Euro Aqua.
Euro Aqua, baby. This is real special.
When you catch a 40-pounder in this country, when you know of a fully scaled 60 in front of you, that gets me excited. To have 100 and 110 plus mirror and a fish that was caught 3 months ago over 105 pound, the biggest common in the world out in front of you. There's no other feeling like it. Facts, there's just not.
You got it in the RV.
This guy's trying to sell us drugs or something. I don't want none of that. Like, we're here to go on a fishing trip. So turn up, and then the grinding begins, baby. Bang, crank this rod, hit clip, bang, lovely. Whoop. He's going money, 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 mate. That's money, money, money. Game on. Here we go. Let's get some bait out. That's on the money. That's on the frickin' money, that is.
You can come on 100-pounder. Yes.
Whack, whack, and snapped in half. I'm devastated, mate. Rich, bang, bang, bang. Come on, bang, bang, and bang. Oh, that's a bite, mate. That is a bite. Keep going. He's done his rods. He's done my rods. The bait's gone out. Time to sit back. Job done. Proper nosser. Get in my basket. Show me my t-shirt. Thank you very much. Right hand marker. With that. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, don't you come off now. Do not come off now. Welcome back to a naughty Euro Aqua video. And yeah, really excited for this one. So it started, I got a phone call from my mate Rich. So Richard, he's Mr. Derek's Angling. I got a phone call from him probably about 6 months ago. It was sort of mid-year, and he goes to me, Ben, I've got a trip in November, sort of mid-November at Euro Aqua. And I was like, Euro Aqua. This is, anybody who knows me, knows the channel, knows that is my favourite place to fish on earth. It is, in my eyes, the pinnacle of any carp angler's fishing, because it's home of the world record. It's got the biggest fish in the world in. What more do you want in carp angling than that? To be able to sit there and have a carp in excess of 100 pound out in front of you. So I got this phone call. Rich has called me and he's like, look, I've got a trip in November. Do you want to come? It's peg 5. I'm like, peg 5 as well, mate. This is like, peg 5. Arguably one of the best pegs in the lake. But it sort of rolls me back to a year prior to this, where I went over with Connor, one of the ParkerBaits ambassadors, and called him the Big Mac Carp. We went over and yeah, it didn't quite go to plan, if I'm honest with you. So I sort of had that in the back of my head. He's like, oh, Ben, do you want to come over in November? I'm on a bit of a budget. It's not cheap over there. Oh, do I go, do I not? In the end, I turned around, Rich, I'm like, I'm on it. It was actually a couple of weeks, or I think a week prior to us going, when me and Connor went. So I was like, well, actually the conditions are probably going to be a little bit better than when me and Connor went. And when me and Connor went, if I'm honest, I didn't have a very good trip. It wasn't the best trip. I managed to nick one, but Connor was on the better side at the time. For some reason, the fish were just on the right-hand side of the swim. So I knew that if I was in the right position, I would be able to basically get some fish on the bank. So that sort of brings you to where I am, and it was sort of turned up, and Rich goes, right, it's on. And then as the saving then begins, obviously I know I'm going 6 months prior to this, or a good few months prior to the saving then begins. The prepping of all the different bits and bobs you need over there, you know, the outboards, the batteries, the marker poles, all things that you probably wouldn't normally, the H blocks, all the stuff you wouldn't normally need in your sort of week to week angling over here. So it did, and it began, and before you knew it, that was it, we were there, you know, and it was like week prior to going, I'm like, exciting stuff, I'm like, where's the last few months gone? And Rich is ringing me saying, that's it, we're going, mate, in a couple of weeks. And then he said to me on the phone, which made me laugh, he goes, yeah, we're gonna go over in my motorhome. I'm like, I don't know, obviously don't have a clue about what Rich's background is in regards to his motorhome. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll be up for that, mate. And he's like, motorhome, you know, is this going to be some kind of cowboy motorhome that's like sat on the back of a trailer sort of thing, a little bit dodgy? He's like, nah. Okay, so we're on the phone, and there was a bit of miscommunication. I'm like, Rich, what do you mean? He's like, no, Ben, trust me, I've got you. Like, it's a nice motorhome, mate. It's a new one. I'm thinking, right, well, new one. That sounds great. So I'm going to go over, and we're going to be comfortable in this caravan, motorhome. Sorry. So he's turned up. Now the first point of me seeing this motorhome, he's turned up at my drive, and I'm like, mate, when you said you had a motorhome, I didn't realise it was a brand spanking new Mercedes in excess of £100,000. You know, this thing was absolutely unbelievable. You know, the full shebang. I've not got a massive drive. This thing didn't fit on my drive. It's hanging over the drive on the road. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, can I have a look inside? He goes, yeah, you can have a look inside. So I've looked inside, open up, and goes, watch this. There's like this iPad above like the door as you walk in. There's this iPad with all like the mod cons on it and stuff. You can press all these fancy buttons and stuff. Bit out of my depth. He goes, watch this. He presses this button. And then he goes, I hear something. What's that, mate? And I looked up, just to the right of me, this bed goes, drops down. I'm like, what's that? He's like, that's where you're staying, mate, over the duration of the next few days on our way there. Obviously, when we're at the lake, you can't sleep in I called it the RV in the end. It was my little thing, oh yeah, we're going over in the RV, mate. We're going over in the RV. I'm buzzing now. Like, this is wicked, absolutely wicked. So he showed me this bed. You've got a sink in there, you've got a shower in there, you've got a toilet in there, you've got another bed, double bed down the end. You've got these AMG double stitch seats like I've never seen in anything with Coachman written on, because it's a Coachman motorhome. Like, yeah, just the dream, just the absolute dream. You know, that's something I aspired to have one day. This was like the ultimate Carpy mobile. So it was like, right, game on, here we go, mate. So that night we got a takeaway, myself, Emma and Rich, had some good food, woke up early the next morning, crack of dawn, and then the journey began. Did someone say travelling to Euro Aqua to try and catch the biggest fish in the world, or the biggest carp in the world? Well, we're definitely doing that in style, baby. You join me on this vlog, heading to one of my favourite places in the world. I'm alongside one of my good friend, Richard. You're going to join us for the next week at Euro Aqua. We're going to bring you on our journey and show you exactly what we're doing. But yeah, this is the first time I've travelled in style, baby, and that thing is just unbelievable. So sit back, get the popcorn, and enjoy an absolute banger. Yes. So we sat there and typed in the old sat nav Euro Aqua, and it was something like 20 odd hours or something absolutely ridiculous. So Euro Aqua, for those of you who didn't know, is actually in Hungary. It's very, very close to the famous Balaton, which is like an inland sea. So if anybody knows Balaton, it's very close to that. So I typed it in 20 hours. Jesus Christ. So gets in the RV, our journey begins, and it was great. The journey to the Euro tunnel was brilliant. I prefer the Euro tunnel because I find the Euro tunnel is a lot cleaner than going over in a ferry. I find with a ferry, not so much of Euro Aqua because you don't really bring much of your own bait over, but what you do is, with other trips, when you go to your likes of France, places like that, I find when you go over on a ferry, they strip your van apart, they strip the RV apart, they strip your car apart, and it's like, mate, what are you looking for? And then they start taking things, oh, you can't bring that with you, can't bring that with you. I find, personally, with the Euro tunnel, it's a lot cleaner, you can go over. They didn't even look in it. It was like, yeah, next one, go through. And went through the first one. The second we went through, they were like, yeah, go through, but can you go over to the left to be searched? We're like, yeah, no problem. Got in the RV, turned up, pulled over to the left. It was like, search time, this is a bit strange. And they sort of swab your steering wheel sort of thing. So we said, yeah, swab the steering wheel. Yeah, thumbs up, thanks very much, enjoy your trip. So it was like, game on, here we go, baby. Euro Aqua, here we come. And I was buzzing, mate, absolutely buzzing for it. So we touched down the other side, and I think by this point now it was something like, I don't know, maybe 15 hours or something stupid like that the other side, or 14 hours, something stupid. So we did. We got on that journey, and actually I think it was still dark at the time over there because we still got there early hours. Got on the journey, and the journey begun, and we started knocking out miles after miles after miles, and you're looking at your screen, it's like, 1,000 miles till you get to your destination. Let's just say it's a little bit intimidated and you get very tired.
Right, well, first stop of the trip, and we've travelled about 300 miles already. We've got about 700 to go. We did mess up a little bit though, because we have went on the toll roads. Now, people that are travelling to Euro Aqua that are watching this, there is roads you can go that you can completely avoid tolls. Now, you got Gordon Ramsay's cousin in the background there. And we're gonna have some food, so yeah, I'll show you around. I'll give you the crib tour, if you like, over the duration the next couple of days. But looking forward to some food. It's been a long morning, but yeah, we are nailing the mileage. But yeah, you come up to, I'll turn the camera around, you come up to these like service stations. There's these every sort of, I don't know, 10 mile in this country, sort of France, and as you go into the other countries, and you can go over, you can walk your dogs, jump back in your car. But this is lovely and absolutely perfect. And if I jump out, I can quickly just give you a better gauge of just how big this bad boy is. Look at this. Look at the size of this. The thing's bloody massive. So, yeah, like I said, I will give you the crib tour, but that's not going to be till the next couple of days. But for now, I'll touch base with you and we made some food. How's that for lunch? Pure steak burger, no messing about here. God. I'm going to put on about 3 stone, I think, on this particular trip, but yeah, in heaven. Lunch with a view.
Myself and Rich are like brothers, to be honest with you. You know, we get on like a house on fire and we just talk for England just about, well, everything, if you're honest. The next thing you know, I'm like, mate, how is 6 hours gone? We've been sat here having Red Bulls, drinking coffee and what have you, and it's just flown away. This is a dream. I think we're going to be there in no time. This is great. And that we were, and we had our first stop that first night, and we pulled up. We're in Germany. Stretch our legs, mate. I think it's time for stretch our legs. We've been in this RV for hours, like, sort of thing. So we got out the van, pulls up. Big fancy Porsche turns up. I'm like, you all right, mate? I'm like, looks at Rich, she looks at me. I look back at Rich, he looks back at me again. I look at the people in the Porsche, I'm like, no, we're all right, mate, we're all right. I'm like, this guy's trying to sell us drugs or something. I don't want none of that. Like, we're here to go on a fishing trip, like. Anyway, it come about after. He said, no, we're good, mate, we're good. Anyway, this Porsche pulls off. But when I say Porsche, it's one of like the big ones, you know, the doors on the back, the bigger one. So there's obviously people in the back and people in the front. You know, they're obviously 4 boys up or whatever, or there's people in the back, but I can't see them because it's blacked out windows and there's 2 people in the front. It's quite intimidating, to be honest. But we were all right. So with that, guys drove off. I've closed the door, I'm going, Rich, what was that about? He goes, mate, they were trying to offer, they were trying to sell us. I'm like, no, definitely not. No, thank you. I'm all right. So bearing in mind, first time we physically stop and have some kind of contact with someone, I'm getting offered these people, and it's like, Jesus, what's this trip turning into?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope everybody's well. Now, that is the first bit of the journey for myself and Rich is done. I can't sit here and lie. I haven't done any driving today. The man himself behind me has absolutely nailed it. I think maybe 10 hours have been done. So we've got around, that's obviously including our journey from obviously England as well, because we left from mine this morning. I think we've got around 7.5, 8 hours left. So we are going to be at Hungary tomorrow. We're just going to go for it in the morning, get up early. But for now, I've got a lovely apple juice I'm going to drink in a second. Look at that. Lovely bit of apple juice. And in the background there is Gordon Ramsay's cousin, and we are doing some nice food. We've got some lovely proper meat, some butcher's burgers. It's just, yeah, living the dream. And we're pulled over in a little sort of pull-in service area, if you like, in the middle of Germany. So again, everything's going to plan so far.
We had some nice food. We had some, Richard's got a link with a butcher's, mate. He brung over this nicest food. They were like these, I think it's called Lancashire burgers with like black pudding in them or sausages. Oh, mate, just dripping like an egg sandwich. When you eat them, I'm like, oh my God, this is absolutely amazing. I'm in the element here. And we had this butcher's bacon that almost felt like about a centimetre thick. I'm probably exaggerating, but it was the best bacon I've ever had in my life. So we had that for dinner, went to bed, got a good night's sleep, and that was that.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope everybody's well, and hopefully everybody's enjoying their weekend. Now, I certainly am, because although we've been driving a lot over the last couple of days, maybe not so much myself, but Richard, but I mean, it's been lovely. It truly has. We've had some good chats, and now we're, give or take, 3 hours away from Hungary, give or take, something like that. So we've absolutely smashed it, to be fair. But for anything like me, when you're in a car with someone, you're chewing each other's ears off. You literally watch the hours go. So yeah, looking forward to touching base in Hungary tonight, and sort of doing a night in there. And I don't know what the plan is over the next couple of days, but obviously we start our proper fishing sort of going into Monday. So yeah, exciting times. Another burger on the cards. But are you out on the bank? Are you using ParkerBaits over the duration of the week this weekend? Make sure you tag us in on social media. I'm excited to know how people are getting on the bank. And you may even be overseas as well. So if you are, certainly give us a message and let us know how you're getting on.
So wake up the next morning, you know, excited, thinking, here we go. And to be honest with you, the video is going to jump a little bit here, because what actually happened is we'd done another day's journey. Then we turned up at Balaton, and I'll quickly touch on this. It was quite funny because I turned up, I'm going, Rich, don't worry, mate. I've been here loads of times to Euro Aqua. I found the perfect place for us to stay. And turned up. I've promised him this is all going to be all right. We've turned up to this bit where I thought we could stay in the RV. First thing we see is no camping. I'm like, right, okay, brilliant. I'm like, mate, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Pulls up in the RV. We're the only car, only van there, and there was one car in the corner. They were probably, you know what, doing their bit in the corner. Let's just say that. So we pulled up in the RV. Within 4 seconds of us being there, a copper pulls up. I'm like, you are kidding me. Not only have we had the issue with the Porsche, now a copper's turned up, but luckily this copper, he's pulled in, he's eyed us up, went over to the Balaton seafront, pulled back up, and then went out and then driven off. I'm like, yeah, happy days, mate. Let's cook some food, go to bed, wake up the next morning, and let's hit Euro. So that we did. Woke up the next morning, and that was it. We hit the famous Euro Aqua, got up, and we couldn't get there till about midday. So we did turn up midday. Like I said, bit of a kid at Christmas, you know, sort of shaking. Even now when I talk about it now, I get excited about it, because there's no other feeling like Euro Aqua. You're not telling me when you catch a 40-pounder in this country, when you know of a fully scaled 60 in front of you, that gets me excited. But to have 110 plus mirror and a fish that was caught 3 months ago, over 105 pound, the biggest common in the world out in front of you, there's no other feeling like it. Facts, there's just not. So turned up, and the lovely family was there. We saw Jacqueline, Michelle, a mum, you know, Alex, just a lovely family. I've done all our hugs, had some coffees in that, and had a few more coffees, and then eventually it round to their swim. And then the grinding begins, baby.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Now you join me at the famous Euro Aqua, and there's Rich in the background, aka Mr. Warburton. And room peg 5, and I'm absolutely buzzing for this one, mate. Absolutely buzzing. 100-pounders plus in front of us. Yeah, there's nothing quite like it, to be honest. This will be a video coming to the ParkerBaits YouTube channel very soon, but also I'm going to try and keep you in the loop with what we're doing in regards to our, well, in the Insta story as well, so keep in the loop. So yeah, Euro Aqua, out on the boat, no rods out yet. Oh my God, am I excited.
It was time to now start prepping the swim, and as you guys know, when you've got a week session, the last thing you want to do is rush. And that we certainly didn't do, because by this point, the first night, I didn't get no rods out whatsoever, because I was just basically prepping the swim in regards to finding my spots. So I knew in front of me it was very uniform. Peg 5 is very uniform. To be honest, it's pretty uniform throughout the whole lake, if I'm honest with you. But I knew 35 wraps is a good spot. So 35 wraps, wraps up, 35 wraps, bang, cranks this rod out there, lovely jubbly. This is like before I've even put any rigs on, bags on, whatever I'm doing. Clip, hit, clip, lovely. Pulls it back. Oh, lovely, absolutely beautiful. Really, really nice, clean, just lovely it was. So I'm like, yeah, really happy with my spot. I've, like I said, pulled back, clear as a whistle, thinking this is it, happy bloomin' days. So now it was time to obviously get the markers out. Now, there's a couple of ways you can put your markers out. Obviously, you can go out, drop your marker, cast out to it, and then what you can do is just cast out to the marker, go out on the boat and just see where your lead's landing, because you know if you're on the clip, you can go out with the boat very carefully and reel in really slowly to make sure wherever the lead is, as long as you've not moved it off your spot and you're a couple of foot off the marker, you know you're fishing on the money. Now, I've done that on one rod, but I also like casting. I just like that feel of casting, because if you can get in your head of when you're hitting clip at a certain point, and I know bearing in mind I've got Rich out there on a boat. Now, I'm very clever with this because as well, again, we work great as a team. He pulls away from the spot, because the last thing you want to be doing is shooting a 4.5 ounce lead at someone on a boat. And if you hit clip rod, it's going to knock them out and they're going to fall off the boat. And I think that's happened there before, but I'm not going to go into that one. Not by me, by someone else. But anyway, another story. So he's pulled off to the side, and I thought, Rich, I've got walkie-talkie. So I'm like, all good, Rich? Yeah. He's going, all good, my end, mate. I'm just going to do another few more casts, mate, just to check that I'm 110%. He's like, yeah, go ahead, mate, go ahead. I'm pulling off the spot now. So he's pulled away from the marker that he's already dropped. Bang, crank this rod, hit, clip, bang, lovely. Woo! He's going, money, 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 mate. That's money, money, money. I said, that's brilliant. I'm just going to go again, Rich, just for that mind reassurance. We're a week. I just want to get this right. So again, crank my rod again. Bang, hit, clip, lovely. Yes, that's it. He's, yeah, money again on the old walkies. Game on. Here we go. Let's get some bait out. So we did. Got some bait out over the spot. So over there, it's maggot season. So we thought we'd buy a couple of trays on the first day. Bearing in mind, we knew in our head that realistic me actually getting the rod out tonight is pretty slim, because it's nearly dark already and I don't want to be rushing things. Although looking back now, bearing in mind we've had a long journey, I'm tired, I'm a little bit ratty as well, I just need to go to sleep. So done that, went out, put the bait out over the spot. So there what Rich was, bit of maggot over the spot. And you buy these chops off them as well. It's like they're house boiling, bit of chops over the top. We'll get up first light and then we'll get these rods out on the money. Happy bloomin' days. Obviously prior to this, I've got all my rods ready. I've got all my links put on, I've got my rigs made, everything's ready, so I know when I do wake up in the morning, I can get my rods on the money and there's not going to be any issues. The food here is absolutely banging as well. I think we went up that evening, we had like schnitzel, I think it was, with like a rice and some vegetables or something like that. It was just lovely, so we had that and that was really, really, really nice. The food there is absolutely banging. You get like a starter and then you get like a main course, sometimes you get a pudding, but it's quite funny because they ring a bell at 2 o'clock. It's like the dinner bell. I feel like being like a kid, like back at school dinner or something. Dinner bell goes off. Everybody's got to reel in and everybody's got to go up. Now I sort of get that. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's just how Euro Aqua works. And you know, everybody's sort of friendly there. You sit around a table and you enjoy your food. And it was quite nice for me and Rich to go up, have a couple of beers and what have you. It was just quite nice, and that's what we've done.
Well, we've just come back from dinner and I thoroughly enjoyed it, to be honest. I think it was pork. We had pork, rice and vegetables, so absolutely lovely. You can see how cold it is. It's going to go down to about 1 tonight. It is cold. Cold is probably an understatement, but I'm still smiling and that's all that matters. Rods are out for the first night. You can see mine and Rich's there. So good food and hopefully some NOSSAPIGs tonight. They went out on the money as well. I've just went out and just put the mother load of maggot over the top of them. A little bit of chops as well. So yeah, fingers crossed, baby. Come on the Carp, come on the ParkerBaits, and come on the 100-pounder. Yes.
So there it is, the next morning come, and first light come up, I was up first. Old Rich was in his bag, absolutely freezing. You're like walking out, big old smoke cloud, or you know what I mean? It's just freezing, mate, absolutely freezing. Like that, I need to make myself a coffee, so I've made myself a coffee and that. Oh, lovely, warm myself up, lovely jubbly, and that was perfect. And I thought, right, time to get these rods out now. I know where markers are, I've already got the clips on the rod, 35 wraps, I'm gonna go bang, bang, bang. What we do is over there, a little bit strategic. Now I do a line, so I do one pole in the middle, I do one pole here, and I do another pole here. So what I'm trying to put across is from my perspective, I can fish 3 rods, obviously in, one up against the middle pole, one in the middle, and one either on the left-hand side of my right-hand marker or on the right-hand side. Now Rich can repeat that himself. Then we can do a line of bait. So it's a very clever way of fishing, to be honest. And what you do is you sort of keep that bait confined, and it keeps the fish moving up a strip, if you like. And it's done us very well in the past. And I've seen people absolutely ruin Peg 5 by doing this in the past. So it was like, game on, that's what we're going to do. So the idea was we're going to get our rods out, and then we bought another couple of trays of maggots. Bearing in mind these trays of maggots are like £150 per tray of maggots, and we're putting out a couple of days, so it's not cheap. So, gets back, first crank of the rod. I thought I'm going to put a bag on one of them like that. Probably about, I'll weigh them as well, probably about, I don't know, 4.5 ounces, something like that it was. Got this rod on it. Whack! Hit this rod, and as I've cranked this rod, I've went over there with brand new Shimano TX2As, and I've cranked this rod, mate, and the fingers just went crack and snapped in half. Rich looks at me, I look at Rich. He's like, that was nothing you done, Ben. That was nothing you done, Ben. You didn't do nothing wrong there when you were casting. I'm like, well, that's great. First day in, first cast, I've got my brand spanking new rods that I've saved a little while for, you know what I mean? Like, got excited for going over. I run TX2s for about 3 years, and they're the best rods money could buy in my eyes. So I thought, if I buy the new ones, they'll be better than the old ones. Win, 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 win. I'll be able to cast further. These are like the originals on steroids for how it's been put across to me. So I'm not going to have any issues. I can crank them like I did before. I'm not going to have any issues. So there I am now, and you're probably seeing that on the screen. This rod snapped in half, just up from the eye by the whipping. Not where you put the second piece in, but just down from that.
Well, not a bad start. Hey, can you write it? They're brand new rods. I've had my TX2s, the other ones. That's why I bought the new ones. I thought they're going to be invincible. Definitely not that.
I'm devastated, mate. Rich was like, it's all right, mate, it's all right. I've got some more rods. And yeah, of course Rich did. Rich had about 17 rods in the back of his RV. Remember I was saying the RV, that's a great big motorhome he's got. Don't worry, I've got you covered. But don't stop there at Rich. He's taken one thing, not a step too far, but he's taken over there. Hear this. He's got a trailer that he leaves on site, and he's got his own personal golf buggy on site. And the golf buggy's even got embroidered in this. It's not embroidered, it's got in the seats, it's got Euro Aqua in the seats. So I'm like, this is wicked, but what I'm getting at is he had me backed up. He's like, Ben, use my rods. I did bring spares with me. I wasn't naive. I bring 2 on my old TX2 with me, and I was going to flick onto them, but then I was going to have 2 of the new ones in one of the old ones. It was like, it don't look very nice. And if you're anything like me, I'm a bit of a tackle tart, and I want everything to look uniform and nice on the bottom. And so he said to me, Ben, I got these old greys. Well, they weren't old greys, they were greys customs, and they were these old ones. They got tournament rings on them, 50mm butt rings, custom cork handles. It's even got a little bit in the butt rest where you can actually got custom butt rest, and it's got a little nook in the cork where you can like put your rod down and it sits in perfectly. Like, would you mind me using them? He's like, no, you use them, mate. Do what you want to do. I'm like, oh, a little bit dodgy. I don't want to go and break one of these now, because then I'm going to be even more financially crippled, because they're going to have to not only sort Rich out, I'm going to have to obviously try and get my money back for these TX2s at the end of it. Well, thinking, but Rich goes to me, now use them. To be honest with you, a week on how I've actually bought these rods of him. I fell in love with them, if I'm honest. I've got these rods of him, and they're very, very good. Anyway, changed everything over, got the rods all sorted, managed to get all my rods in a spot, bang, 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 2 on the leg setups and 1 on a bag. I thought, you know what, just something a little bit different. They all went out lovely, hit and clip nice and crisp. Thank you very much. On the money, time to go out. So Rich was the first time to go up. He's like, I'm up, mate, so I'm going up. Obviously, what you do is you can be very clever with how you're doing it, or I used the word strategic earlier. You can be very strategic with what you're doing. Rich will sit there and watch me cast, so he knows. So the concept is, if you're looking at the markers, if he knows it's 2 foot off the marker when you're going out there, you can put a little bit more bait 2 foot off the marker. similar from my perspective. If I watch Rich, I know exactly where his leads have landed, so then when I go over, I can put a little bit more bait over the areas more confined to where his lead is landed. So it's important that you're both watching each other and you're zoning in with each other. It's very, very important that you're doing that. So that we done. He went over, he's put this bait out and I'm there going, mate, oh, that's a bite, mate, that is a bite. Keep going, he's done his rods, he's done my rods, the bait's gone out, time to sit back, job done. Bearing in mind at this time, it is absolutely Baltic, it's freezing, absolutely freezing. Sits back, and I goes, oh, about 12, 1 o'clock. It's time for an apple juice, mate, isn't it? So on your swim, you've got these pegs, and sorry, you've got these fridges on your thing. So on your peg, you've got a fridge, and you've got as much you can drink, and then obviously not as much you can eat, but much you can drink. So you've got beers in there, you've got Coca-Cola, lemonade, you've got these iced teas. My God, is Euro Aqua changed my life with iced tea. That's my newfound favourite thing, and I know it's Rich's as well. So crack this apple juice, like, oh, sat back, lovely. Few beeps, right hand rod. This is like 25 minutes, half an hour after me putting that rod out, mate. I goes, Rich, mate, I've just had beep, 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 beep. And the bobbin sort of pulls back, pulls up, and then drops back down again. But don't just drop back down again, it sort of drops back down. I'm fishing high enough that my bobbins can actually drop, but not hit the deck. That's a bite, mate. Yeah, I'm into something here. I'm thinking, this don't feel right though, mate. And to be honest, it was like, they got like these bream over there, but they're actually great big slabs they are. I think I had about a 10-pound bream. It was absolutely massive. And they've been saying, well, make sure any bream you catch, you put in a keep net. So I put this bream in a keep net. And then for the next 3 or 4 hours, I'm fighting these like cruising-y carp sort of hybrid-y things. I was catching them left, right and centre. And I don't know why, because I was the only one catching. I'm going up at the dinner table in the evenings and I was the only one catching these the whole week. So it was getting bloody frustrating. And even people were making the jokes. How's your bream fishing going, mate, round the table? And it's like, yeah, mate, yeah, very funny. Not very good, if I'm honest with you. And that sort of was a bit disheartening because not only is it cold, not only am I fishing at range, I'm cranking these rods. So if I don't get it right, I'm one of these people, I'm like, it's never that will do. It's got to be 110%. So I'm like, reeling the rod back in. So sometimes you're casting maybe twice, maybe even 3 times to get that right. And then you go and catch a sodding bream. So you're like, I'm not here for bream. I've driven 20 hours. I could have done this down the road from where I am. Maybe not catch 10-pound bream, but I can bream fish at home, and that's not my cup of tea, if you like. So that sort of brings you to now 2 o'clock the next day where I go up for dinner. Went up for dinner that evening, come back, and it was obviously pitch black. And they bring over so over there you get a breakfast, which is normally a roll. You get the 2 o'clock dinner, which is obviously a substantial dinner. In the evening, then you get a roll as well. The rolls would come in, and I'm not the biggest fan of ham and cheese. So we were like, whip the ham and cheese out, and we were one step ahead of the game. Because obviously myself and Richard have gone a good few times before, so we were getting like burgers that we bought previously. Getting them out of the RV, whacking these burgers in, mate, bit of ketchup, and I was in the element. And one thing I want to point out as well, it was like a freaking Christmas tree out there, which I don't think helped, but I just think the fish weren't feeding. Bearing in mind now, I'm a couple of days in and it's just not happening. I'm getting frustrated, mate. It's just not happening. It's so cold. Nobody's catching around there. Only person who's having one. You had the RH fishery boys over there. You had Rob Hales over there, Harry, his son, and you had another gentleman down the end. I think Harry had a couple at this point, and then gentleman in Peg 1 had a couple. Now they were fishing right up the other end, but the people in Peg 3 and the people in Peg 4, Peg 4 were fishing right, but Peg 3, we had literally a line. I was calling it a Christmas tree because all of our markers were like, and you'll see it on the screen now, it literally looks like a Christmas tree. There's this line of markers all glowing up at night time, and I'm like, it's not ideal, if I'm honest, not ideal. We're fishing within our limits in the Peg. Actually, I'm fishing when Michelle said, you know, that's where you want to be fishing. So that's where we fished. I've only fished Peg 5 once before. So he was like, yeah, put over there. When I cast my rod, the first one was like, mate, which I didn't tell you earlier, I've hit this rod. He's like, mate, he shouts out, that is the one, man, that is the one, he shouted to me. I'm like, yes, mate, nice one. Bang, clip up, thank you very much. I'm like, yes. So yeah, Christmas lights, Christmas lights galore. Christmas has come early. It's a shame the Christmas fish didn't come early for sure. So the morning then came, again, a very uneventful night. Terrible, if I'm honest with you. Not even a beep, I don't think, on that second or third night. It was just a shocker, absolute shocker. But one thing I want to point out here, when you catch a carp, whether it's £20, £50 or £100, it is categorically not allowed out the water. You're not allowed to take the fish out of the water. But they got like these platforms there, and they've got like these 2 crocodile clips, or clips that you like, or sea clips. I don't know what you call them. But you've got a big, massive solar mats. They're ginormous, absolutely ginormous, these mats. You'll be seeing them on the screen now. And I've got my hand there on one of them. And what I was explaining is, at the time I was saying on there, the 100-pounder was sat on it, and apparently its tail, that common, was still sitting off the back of this mat. So it just puts into concept just how big these fish were. But not only that, when you weigh the fish, you've got a winch on the platform that you can winch the fish up with. This is how big the fish are. You know, you think a 47-kilo fish or a 50-kilo fish, which I think the world record is 51 or something. That's a heavy fish. A couple of bags of cement. Tick, 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 tick. Like something out of Jaws, mate. You know what I mean? It was like one of them ones when you hear it in the middle, you're not like, oh, and then the lights come on, you're thinking, oh, someone's got the winch going over because you can hear it. Obviously not on this occasion because people weren't really catching, but I mean, other times I've been here, tick, 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 tick. So you've got this winch, you've got these big mats. I'm just trying to set the tone in your head just how big these fish are. So although we're not catching, it's also really exciting thinking they're out there. I know they're out there, it could happen at any time, and that big fish, that 100-pounder, all it's got to do is come over my spot, one suck, game over, if it comes over that bag or that hook link.
Well, you can probably just make out Rich there. So it's about 12 o'clock, like I said earlier, Wednesday. I went out probably about an hour ago, give him a tray of maggots over the top. And Rich has just done the same, more so over his 2 rods. And fingers crossed, something happens before dimmer. If it don't, and we can come back and go again, get them rods on the money, and all we can do is sit back and wait. If the fish ain't feeding, they ain't feeding. But I just think it's going to switch on all of a sudden, and we just got to be ready for that. Rigs ready, bait ready, everything ready, so you can keep them there on your spot for as long as period of time possible, and go from there. Basically, that's all we can do. That's all we can do at the moment. So I'm going to sit back. Not going to play about the rods the next couple of hours and just let them do their thing. I know there's bait over the top of them, and I can't do much more than that. Fingers crossed, baby. It'd be rude not to touch on the weather. Now, it has been absolutely freezing Baltic the last couple of days. It's been going down to sort of like 0/1 degrees. It's just been unbearable. Luckily, I've got a little heater in here, so that's been keeping me warm and helped massively. But like going into, let me just put it in perspective. So it's now 12. It's 5 degrees. It goes to 6 degrees. Then at 4 o'clock goes down to 5, and then starts going down from that point all through the night. Freeze 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. So it's ever so slightly, fractionally sort of slightly warmer. So that's today. Tomorrow it's lows of 1 and goes up to 8. Tuesdays it's today is 2 at its lowest, /1 6 degrees at its peak. Thursday is 1 at night time and 8 in the day. Friday is 2 at night time and 10 in the day. Saturday is 1 and 10 in the day. Going into next week, as from the Monday, it's 4 at night time and 14 in the day, which is crazy. It's nearly 3 times warmer than what it's been this week, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. And that sort of repeats that going into next week, picking a few days at random here. Tuesday going into next week, 6 at night time, 12 in the day. yeah, so Monday, Tuesday next week are looking primo, but unfortunately I'm not here. We're off Sunday. But that is the weather and a bit more of a sort of insight into the weather and how cold it's been. I think this peg done 2 bites last week, and they weren't very big ones. They were small fish, because I've been messaging the geezer that was in here last week. He said it was just that cold snap has truly come in. Yet you think 3 weeks ago people were having like 50, 60 fish in a week, which is just, you know, fair play. I think I can't think of the gentleman's name. I think I see one gentleman, he's like put up number 75, like just mental. So it's gone from one extreme to the other. Maggot is obviously this time of year, it's called maggot season. So what you'll find is it's a little bit more expensive this time of year, but a lot of maggot goes in. I just think they've been absolutely smashed on maggot the last sort of month or so, and now you're putting it in, it's not quite getting the response it was getting when you initially first when they change over from obviously the hemp and the buckwheat to obviously the maggot. Yeah, a little bit different to say the least. So yeah, that's the weather, and 12:15 now. Right, well, it's that time of day again, and we're heading up for our dinner. That's the plan of action now. I'll see you when we're over there. Well, that is me done, and dinner was banging, to be fair. Must have been like slow cooked chicken, because it was so soft, it just melted in your mouth. So it was like a soup to begin with, and then we had the chicken curry, and there was like a pastry at the end with almost like custard in it, dusted with an icing sugar. Absolutely banging, mate, absolutely banging. But you join me, there is where the magic happens. When I say that, the magic happens at the moment. The only magic that's happened in the day is food. Food and nice drinks. This isn't actually a peg, but I know the family get the odd time fish this in the summer and that. But if I turn you around, here's a different perspective on the lake. So you've got peg 8 over there, which is a peg I've fished before. You've got ours, which is right over the back. You've got 1, 2 and 3, 4 in the corner, 5, and then like I said, over the back of peg 8 is 6 and 7. There's also snags here as well in the front of peg 8. And again, if you haven't watched our video that myself and Emma done up here, I strongly advise going over and checking that out. But for now, Rich is going to be here in a second. He's just popped to the toilet. We're going to get in this bad boy and head back. Quite cool, isn't it? Look what he's done. I'll give you the tour of this now. So he's got Euro Aqua seats in camouflage there, all stickered up. How cool's that? Need to send Rich some stickers really, and get some NOSSAPIG stickers on here. Little bit on the back. Yeah, that's awesome, that is. And it's a lot easier than coming around on a push bike. Lazy, I know, but nice. Well, there's this horrible misty rain coming in. First rod, middle rod, bang. Second rod took me 2 goes, got it on the 3 goes, got it on the third. And the last one, left hand rod, which is up against the marker, absolutely on the money, mate. I know I said, I think I said yesterday, but I'm happy with them. But I am really, really, really happy with them rods. I'm gonna go over now, put tray of maggots over the top, and that's me done. I'm glad. I'm glad I've got plenty of light, and now I can put the bait out and know exactly where I'm putting the bait out as well. So, well, dinner's come, and ham and cucumber and a fresh roll. So, lovely jubbly. Oh, some crispies. What we got today then?
Croissant.
Croissant.
Oh, jeez. All the excitement of it all, please.
Oh, come on, fish. Nothing last night. I had one beep about 1:30. Yeah. At the moment, there's no massive exciting film coming to you. It's a bit depressing at the moment. I hate using that word, but yeah, it's hard going for myself and Rich. We're trying everything, but there's only so much you can do. There really is. But you can see the geese, they keep coming over. That looks lovely, that. Look at that. Mega. Sat on the end of my bed chair. 9:15, and about 20 minutes ago my right hand marker went and then went back up again, which is more action than I've seen in the last half an hour than I've seen in 4 days. That first day I did see a little bit of movement when we first put the markers out, but yeah, it's dismal. It's so slow. Gentleman in peg 4 popped down this morning, said you get on. He said 2 beeps last night, mate. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I think peg 8 has had a smaller one. £40, not small, but I mean for over here it is. Yeah, I just merely keep in the loop because a little bit hotter today, and to now see the marker move, I don't want to go out and put a load more bait out on top of bait, and I don't want to disturb it, and I certainly don't want to move their rods around. I really don't. I want to keep them exactly where they are. I know they're fishing. I know they're presentated. Come on, Carp. Come on, Carp.
Well, at this point, it's getting a bit sort of, I hate to use the word, but a little bit depressing, if I'm honest with you. And I think it's very important, very, very important when you get to this point to not lose your head. I've been on trips before and I've seen it with mates, and then rods start getting thrown and then it's like, I'm going to start moving spots, and everything that you shouldn't be doing, you start doing. And like I said, I think it's very important that you keep focused in what you're doing, you keep consistent in what you're doing, and that myself and Rich done from day dot. Now, I'm Thursday now, so I'm now 4 nights in. I've got like 48 hours ahead of me. I've not had nothing. Well, I have. I've caught a load of tadpoles, these bream and these fucking, like, I don't know, crucian-y things, hybrid-y things. Oh, God. Thursday morning comes. I'm like, I don't want to change nothing, but I don't want to keep putting bait on top of bait. So that we slowed off on the bait. Woke up in the morning, redone my rods, bang, 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 and they went out absolutely lovely, to be honest with you. Sat back, hour in, had our coffee, rolls come round, had our roll. We had bacon rolls that morning, lovely, bit of ketchup in there, lovely. I'm eating my roll, I'm like, Rich, right hand marker. Pulls over, but you've got to remember, right? The markers are obviously, for anybody who doesn't aware, so a marker pole obviously sits up. I use the Halo, the Fox ones. You've got the weight at the bottom, you've got a little bit of string, and obviously you've got your marker. So what does the marker do? It's an indicator, and obviously somewhere where you can line up with, and obviously you can mark where you're fishing. But obviously if a fish is touching that marker, or a 60, 70, 100 pounders on your spot, 'cause what I always do is I always put a bucket at least on the marker. So you've got a big old build-up of bait around the end of the markers. So naturally, if a fish comes over, you're gonna see an indication on that marker. And now, oh, that I did, baby, that I did. This marker's went over, and I'm probably fishing, the marker's probably that far off the top. The marker come over that much, the orange bit at the top nearly touched the water. That's how much this marker, I'm going, Rich missed it. Marker's come back up and it stopped. And I'm like, Rich, watch the marker. And I think it moved probably about an inch again. And he's like, I didn't really see it, mate. 10, 15 minutes on, it's done the same again. I'm like, Rich, he's missed it again. And then I think about 10, 15 minutes after that, he's done it again, he's clocked it. I'm like, I saw that, mate. I definitely saw that. And I've sat there, and this is where it sort of gets spicy. So I'm sort of sat there having my coffee going, I know I've got fish in my spot. Come on, Rod, please, Rods. I cannot blanket Euro Aqua. I've never blanked it before. Please, make sure you do something. Come on. With that, beep, 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 beep. Drop back. Bobbin just drops on the ground. Oh, for God's sake, another bream sort of thing. So instead of me going over hitting my rod, just in case it is a bream, or a big fish is giving me a massive liner and just giving me a bit of slack line, what I'm going to do is instead of going over and hitting the rod, I'm just going to go over. So I walked over to the rod and I've twisted my spool like this. In other words, to tighten up my bobbin. So I've twisted my spool, tightened up my bobbin. bobbins drop down again. I've got a bream on the end. Time's up. Bobbin drops down again. I've got to hit that, so I've unclipped the bobbin, picked the rod up. Not snapped at it, but I've pulled into it. That's a bite. Rich is still in the, Richard, I think, was still in. I think he was making more coffees or something at the time, so he's in the RV. So hooked into this fish and it went. I'm like, here we go, here we go, baby. That's a carp, that's a carp. I'm like, Rich, Rich. Nothing, no response, no nothing. I'm playing this fish now for probably 2 to 3 minutes at this point, and it's just kiting. Now I'm fishing 35 wraps out. I've not got no line on this. It's taking a little bit on, it's just kiting. And it's going all over towards peg 8. So I'm like, tip down, sort of match style. So I'm keeping the rod low, just trying to turn it, because obviously peg 8 is Rich's water. So I don't want it to go over his rods. I don't really want to take out his rods, because one, it's embarrassing, and secondly, it's annoying for the angler, quite frankly. You know, like if Rich took my rod, come on, mate, cheers, mate. I've got my rods out, you've just taken me out. Epic fight, you know, this fish, I knew it was big immediately, so like I said, it's kited. Anyway, 4 or 5 minutes on at this point, I'm going, Rich, he's like, yeah, you're in, mate, ain't you? I'm like, yeah, boy, I'm in. So I'm playing this fish, and it's gone over, and they managed to get a bit more line, it's gone right. And I'm slowly getting a bit more line back on it, bit more line on the back. The difference is with this fish, after its first initial sort of that first little twitch it had, it didn't sort of take line, but I didn't really gain any line. But on the after sort of, I don't know, maybe 7 to 8 minutes of playing this fish, I was just getting little bit by little bit, pulling it back. But I could just hear, you know when you feel for the rod, it just going like that, and you can just feel the fish is obviously there going. But it's a big fish, because it's just a slow nod, and you can feel everything through this rod, and I'm getting it in. Anyway, after quite a little bit of an epic fight, after this noddy ploddy, whatever you want to call it, this fish has come up in front of me. I go to Rich, that's a big fish, mate. That's a good fish, mate, that is. This common's come up in front of this one. That's a big fish, but as it's come up, it's almost looked at us with one of its eyes, because the hook link's come up, and it's almost looked at us, and then with that, it's taken another dive, and that was the initial bit there, and then it started taking a little bit off me. I think it's not done that the whole way in, so Sank's obviously shocked it here. Oh, don't you come off now, do not come off now, for Christ's sakes, I've been here 4 days, do not come off now. Luckily, it's come up, Rich has actually done the netting, so I'm like walking back with it now at this point. Dirty great big commons come up, it's went in the net, we've both looked down on it, I'm like, that's a 60, mate. That's a late 60, mate. That's a good fish. It might even go that magical 70 mark. We both agreed that it wasn't over 70 pounds, because everything over 70 pounds, you've got to call Jacqueline, or you know, Alex has got to come round, etc. So yeah, we did. Got in the water. I said, oh, no, the rod can stay there, man. I don't care about getting that rod back out immediately. And also, I didn't want the fish to beat me up. So I've got in the water with this fish. I've carefully got it out, put the carp care on and what have you, and carefully got these big old solar slings as well, and you've got to be very careful, because they're just big fish. Got it on, put it on the winch, pulled that winch up, and I think it went up, and it was 69.8 it was. I'm over the moon thinking, one, I haven't blanked now, which is a big tick for me, but I've also caught a NOSSAPIG. Anybody who doesn't know me or is just watching this video, any big fish, I call them NOSSAPIGs. Proper Nossa. This was 69.8. Get in my basket. Show me my t-shirt. Thank you very much. Because at this point, nobody's really catching, and I think I was one of the first to catch one that day. The odd fish was being caught down in peg 1, but it's kind of like you're on a stage there. Everybody's watching everybody. Par of peg 8, you've got a bit of privacy, but every other peg you can see each other. So I won't waffle. I'll let the footage unfold, and you can see what's happened, because yeah, what a bit of a moment it was, this dirty great big common. So yeah, check this out. First one for me, and the first one for me is just under 70 pounds. So can't grumble at that, can you really? Pristine common, absolutely pristine. I mean, look at that. Stuff me, look at the fish. There we go. Smidge him under.
£70. And like I said, the first one for myself and Rich. But I'm gonna slip her back in the sling, get a few pictures, get her back, and get them rods straight back out on the money.
Yeah, so what a moment it was. I was sort of over the moon with that, and obviously what a hard week it had been so far. So at this point now, after that, it was time to get a rod out. So I've got my rod. I've cranked this rod, mate. Whack, bang, first cast on the money. Have some of that, thank you very much.
Right, wow, I thought it'd probably be the good time to keep the loop, really. That was a bit of a moment of madness after seeing that marker move this morning, like I mentioned to you prior to this clip. Middle rod, I get a drop back, and there it was. 69.8, so yeah, buzzing with that, and hopefully that's the first of many. And on 100 pounders, they're definitely out there. Myself and Rich are frantically getting rods back out. I've just done that rod there and it went out lovely, just the left of it. We'll look at my line and I'm like, that mate, there's about an inch difference between the two lines going. That's how close the rods are. So yeah, can't do much more than that, but happy how that went out. And I'm glad it happened first time, so I'm not killing the spot as well and smashing leads over it, so thumbs up for me.
So rod's out, wind's coming in, did make it a little bit harder to cast, I will point out. But one thing I will say is, Rich was like, I've just seen I've seen two fish show in the middle of his two markers. I said, mate, because we've had a fish, there's obviously fish out on the spot, why don't we go and put a bit more maggot out? So that we did.
Well, it's that time again, we're coming up to 12 o'clock and Rich is doing our first drop of the day. I want to try and get a few sort of fish showing sort of in between the two markers at the moment. Which is like, yeah, I'll definitely put some bait out. I was like, yeah mate, go for it, let's go for it. I sort of said to him, keep mine quite tight as well, so I'm fishing quite tight. But yeah, I'll try and capture this, you can get a gauge of what's going on.
Very cleverly, very slowly, but on point, fed the whole line. Like I said, me and Rich are very on point with what we do over there. You know, you've got to be. One, there's a lot of money on the line. Secondly, you're dealing with some of the biggest fish in the world. And yeah, we want to make it happen for our own personal satisfaction, for sure. That's a massive thing in anybody's angling, you know. I'm going over there for one thing, it's to catch a 100-pounder. And I know Rich is going over there to do one thing, to catch a 100-pounder. Maybe Rich is a little bit more excessive than I am, because I mean, he went over, I think, 7 times last year. I wish I was in a financial position to do that. But yeah, Rich has got something in his head, I've got something in my head, and that is the catch this absolute NOSSAPIG.
That's on the money, that's on the freaking money, that is. Keep putting it there, mate. That is on the money. Beat then. So that is the rod back out. I don't know if I mentioned already in this video, but I've been hounded, absolutely hounded by bream intrusions. Get the rod out absolutely on the money, like, yeah, it's a bite. 5 minutes late, you go and get a bloody bream or something, which is a bit of a pain. But that rod went out absolutely lovely. Got about an hour now till lunch. Obviously, we got a real win and then come back and it's game on. From this point on, I'm the most confident. The weather's slightly better. And obviously we've got that full moon coming in. What is the full moon going to bring Saturday night? Is it going to bring a 100-pounder? Who knows? But I'm smiling a little bit more now. I've had one. It's nice to sort of go home with, I didn't want to go home with a blank, I really didn't. So to have that on first fish, 69.8, can't grumble with that, can we? Can't grumble with that. But like I said, that went out lovely. And there's definitely more action on these rods in the last hour than I've had the whole time of year. Every single rods I've had liners on. Little liners. I'm going, that's not coincidence, Rich. That's the saying on the spot over there. There's something definitely feeding. It might be a big old thousands of bream, but I'm sure it's not. That common wasn't the only one out there feeding. I just hope his mates out there, Mr. 100-pounder, Mr. World Record, or Mr. in excess of 100-pound common would be absolutely awesome. I don't care who catches it, even if Rich catches it. I'm sure I'll be more happy than he will, because that's what it's all about when you're fishing. Fingers crossed tonight, or fingers crossed, we've got 3 nights ahead of us going into, so we've got Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then we're off Sunday. So 3 nights left. Job's a good in. keep repeating what we're doing, and fingers crossed it happens. Geed up. Well, it's that time again, the rods are in and we're heading over for dinner, so I'll touch base with you when we're over for dinner and show you what we have. Right, well, I know I say this every day, but Rich, bang, bang, bang. Mine, bang, bang, and bang. First time on the money. Couldn't be more pleased with that. So now time to get some maggots. And we've also got some chops as well, the Euro Aqua chops, and we're going to put some chops over the spot. And the maggot as well. Fingers crossed, baby. Well, game on, the bait's out. Not quite the full moon, but that full moon is coming. And it's going to be coming Saturday night, but we've got the run up to it. All the rods went out. Bait's out now, just come back on the boat. Sprayed it all along our markers, and I couldn't be happier. So fingers crossed tonight. Come on, the 100-pounders.
The next morning came and it was it was eventful to say the least, because I had a few more of the old Cruisinese and a few more bream, and then yeah, something quite cool happened. I had exactly the same take around exactly the same time. Bearing in mind this is the next day now. And after quite, I'm not going to lie with this fight, it was quite a short-lived fight. And it come up, put the net underneath it, thank you very much. I'm like, that's a 50-pounder. Looks in, I'm like, wow, back at the fisheries, I got a football. It was literally a football. That's the only way of putting it across. But cool one, little small head in it, proper Italian looking fish, like big old football and a little tail and that, lovely. So I won't touch on it too much, but I'll let the clips roll now and you can have a little bit of a taste of your mouth of what this fish looked like. Check it out.
Well, not a bad start to the morning, and right hand rod ticked into action, and 52-pound chunky and monkey. Look at that, completely different shape, and obviously a mirror as well. So yeah, buzzing with that. Rod's already back on the dance floor, white rested just for a few minutes, but yeah, over the moon. And fish number 2. Yes. So there it is, there's the other side. Thank you very much, Mr. Angry Mirror. Sweet. Right, well, as you can probably see, it is raining now, which is the most rain we've had since we've been here. Hopefully it pulls the fish down and gets them feeding on the bottom. But breakfast is turned up. I think we're going to mix it up a bit, because we've got got a roll in there, look. And then an egg, some jam, butter, a little wafer, and some ham and cheese. So got some bacon in the RV, cook that up with the roll, fresh roll and the bits and bobs. Lovely jubbly. This has been my view most of the week. It's 1:30 now, so we've got half an hour and go up for dinner. Been a very slow couple of hours after that one this morning, to be honest with you. But looking forward to some dinner and then coming back and obviously getting the rods back out on the money. What a week it's been so far. Rich needs one, I need one, and a decent one at that. Well, it's that time again and we are heading up for dinner. Friday lunchtime, and 48 hours to go basically, give or take now. Literally 48 on the nose. Wow, 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 look at that barbecue Friday. Sausage, big bit of meat, chips, apple juice, lovely blooming jubbly. Oh yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Oh, you like that? You definitely like that, don't you? Hey? Oh. Nice scratch of the belly.
Ott itt a szürke lábán egy narancsat, ami nő. A témákora jó, vagy nagyon nagyló, nem jobb megtalálni, kell dobni egy új...
Say hello world, hello world. My name is Danger. Go on, let me give you a scratch. Wait, stop licking me. Hey. Oh no, you both. No, you both. Oh, you little monkey. You little monkey.
Slowly.
Right, wow, there it is. Rods are out. Rich's went out. Mine went out. I had to do the first rod twice, so I got the other two out. It was all right, hit clip all right, but I thought, you know what, I want to do it one more time just to make sure I'm 100%. And I'm glad I did, because the last time I hit it, hit clip lovely. Tip down, sunk the line, job done. So just went out with a couple of trays of maggots, put that over the top, bit of chops, that's gone over the top. And all I can do now is sit back and wait, baby. Tomorrow night is the full moon. Tonight is the run up to it. So all I can do is hope and pray. And the weather is the best tonight. I think it goes down to 2, and previously it's been 0 and 1, so we're a degree more. So whether that's going to change anything, who knows? But I'm going to sit here and say to myself it does, because it's been a hard week. It truly has. And I really want Rich to have a nice one as well. Fingers crossed. Come on the Carp. Come on the ParkerBaits. And come on, Euro Aqua. Yes. What we got?
Them bad boys, VIP breakfast.
Breakfast with a view. Very nice too. Up?
No,
I see that drop then.
no. That was on then.
Right, wow, there it is. Looking a bit like Stig of the Dump or Rat Weasel. And I've been living on the bank the last 4 weeks. It's been a mega 4 weeks to be fair. I've had some bloody good fish as well. But yeah, last night tonight, the proper full moon. What is tonight going to bring? Who knows? I mean, last night was and obviously this morning, obviously losing them fish, my end and Rich's, obviously I've lost a couple. And that pool, and you hit into it, you're like, yep, mint. Nothing. And it's like pulling through something. You can, almost like a trailer. It's got to be a trailer, if I'm honest. Going to go out just before dark, put some maggot out, and yeah, it is. Last night, Londy. But like I said, full moon. And if anything's going to throw up anything, it's going to be tonight, and it's got to be tonight. Full moon. Big comments. £107 common. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be nice? So I'm going to leave it at that. And hope and pray tonight. I'm going to sit there with a little heater on, quietly comfortable, and just hope and pray I get a nice slow take. Tick, 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 tick. That would be the ultimate. It truly would. So what's on the dance floor? Smiley Ben, full from dinner. So let me just touch on dinner as well. So it was like goose. It was freaking lovely. They've been cooking all night. So they really do spend their time and on giving you the best possible food money can buy. I mean, this was like slow cooked on the barbecue all the way through the night until this afternoon. It was taken off. Literally, I got the knife and I pulled it across the bone and the meat just come off, mate. And it makes my mouth water talking about it. It was that good. And like a dumpling with it as well. And also some cranberry sauce, like the cranberry sauce I put, oh man, so nice. Thoroughly enjoyed dinner. Really thoroughly enjoyed dinner. So, like I said, full stomach, rods are out. All I need now is a £100. Come on. Nan, I hope you're right there looking down on me, I really do. And if you're going to give me anything, Nan, do it tonight, please. Please. Right, well, it's that time again.
And gonna go at the maggots now. I've literally in there probably thinking, what's the colour? I've put 2 pots of magic dust in, and throughout the whole time here, we've done exactly the same. I paused them because Rich got a knock, so yeah, that's what I'm going to go out with. Something a little bit different. I think they're so used to seeing maggots. I think a little bit spicy out there. I think to a degree gives you a little bit of an edge. So heading out there right now for probably one of the last times. Oh, I'm going to miss this place. I just hope it rewards me tonight. I really do. Come on, Carp. And come on, you magic beans. Come on, the full moon. And come on, the 100-pounders. It's wow night. It looks really light here, doesn't it? Look at it. Bloody Christmas tree out there, though. Well happy with the rods. Last night. Is it going to happen? Come on, fish, please. Give us an absolute whacker.
So there it was, 2 days on, and full moon coming up, and to be honest with you, it just didn't happen. I had all these high hopes after that 50, and it was a hard trip. The weather just wasn't right, and that will be my last time going back to Euro Aqua in November. It's just a bit too much of a risk in my eyes. Like I said, it's expensive, but you're also playing with fire in regards to the conditions. That is a big one for me, and yeah, I just didn't want to. I'm not going to risk that again. Let's just say that. But we had some good laughs. It was lovely seeing the full moon, and I thought the full moon was going to throw up utterly something ridiculous, and it didn't across the pond at all. I had a lovely sunset in the morning. I think it was second to last day or last day. We had some lovely food. I think we had wild boar one of the days, and I got a knife and I just pulled it and it just fell off the bone. So we had some lovely food, and that sort of brings you to the end of my journey, if I'm honest with you. So another trip at Euro Aqua. No, it didn't happen, but you can't walk away with a venue with a fish just under £70. That instantly puts a smile on my face when I say it. And it was also one of my biggest fish to date from Euro Aqua. Like I said, just a smidgen under £70, and I will be back. And that, to a degree, yes, I want to catch one, but it also keeps me sort of excited for my next trip alongside Rich, because I've got a few booked in next year. And yeah, I'm buzzing to get back, mate, and get that trophy, my own personal trophy of £100. That would almost complete my angling, if you like. Time to retire. Thank you very much. Give me my t-shirt, like I've said a couple of times in this video. So there it is, another video, and I hope you liked it, guys. Get in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Do you like me sort of, I think the probably word is to the sort of narration over, me talking over the videos as opposed to me getting really in the nitty-gritty bits. I think it breaks it up, something a little bit different as opposed to a vlog, something a little bit more formal, even though I am in a kitchen here today, you know, something a little bit more formal. And like I said, give me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of this video. So there it is, another Sunday upload. If you have liked this video, guys, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward. And I'll see you all very soon. Peace out.